Gotta jump in, gotta start climbing, show up and win. Never stop striving, it's gonna be worth it, wait and see. Building your legacy.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Brick by Bricks podcast, where we talk about building others up through competitive collaboration and changing the real estate industry one agent at a time. I'm your co-host, Dylan Dansby, alongside Curtis Haddock and Brooke Massey. And today,
drum roll,
we have a special guest in the house. She is a phenomenal agent, a great human being, Sarah Livingston. How are you doing this morning?
Welcome, Sarah.
Good. How are y'all doing?
We're doing pretty good.
Thank you for
We're
having
excited
me.
to have our first guest on the podcast. I mean,
well,
we've
second.
only
does Casey count as a guest?
Casey's Casey.
See, that tells you right there. I thought this was our first guest. So we've asked a lot of people, and we finally got someone to say yes. I'm kidding.
No pressure on me.
That's not true. No pressure at all.
If you want to be on the podcast, comment and say you want to be on, and we'll see if we can get you on. No promises.
Yeah.
Right.
Not at all.
DM us.
No, but I am super excited to have Sarah on. So if you guys haven't been following Sarah on social media, you totally should. She is just a rock star out there. She is just helping people left and right. You got all kinds of stuff under contract and stuff right now, and on your way to earn your bricks ring too. So just super excited to have Sarah on today.
Yeah, 100%. She's going to have really good insight for our topic today, and love to hear her opinion and what she has to say about it.
Well, hold on before we go into the topic. What's a bricks ring?
Oh, Sarah, do you want to say what a bricks ring is?
Well, it's when eventually I get 100K in sales, which I'm on track to do, hopefully, within a 12-month period. You get a ring, and it's a bricks ring.
And it's commissions to you, too. Not gross commissions, but... No, it'd be gross commissions.
Oh,
Yeah, my bad.
He's the one that designed the whole program.
He's the one that created it.
No, it's not
my
gross.
take home.
It's your take home. Yeah. It's not gross. It's your take home.
Yeah.
So when you personally take home 100K in any 12-month period, then any rolling 12-month period, then you get your bricks ring.
And it's a lot. It's hard for a lot of agents to think, oh my gosh, how can I get there? Because it's an honor to get there once you get there.
Mm-hmm.
So,
It's like and for some people, it's a 100K or being a 6-figure a year earner is like unfathomable to a lot of people.
Yeah,
like,
I was just going to make the
100%.
comment. For a lot of people, that's life-changing money. It really is. So it's...
or thinking that some people think that they'll never be in that category of income.
Which
I was one of those people.
It's their mindset.
I was one of those people that thought it was going to take me a long time before I ever became a 6-figure earner.
I agree with that. I always remember.
I always felt
You'll be
like
fine.
I deserved to be a 6-figure earner. I mean, maybe deserves not the right word, but I had the skills
And the
to
potential
do it,
of doing it. Mm-hmm.
But the way that the corporate America works and how 3% increases a year was not cutting it.
No.
No. I was like, well, at this pace, I'll be ready to retire by the time I finally get there.
Well, in corporate America, they give you enough of a raise just to cover the cost of
Inflation.
living that goes up. So really, you're
Sometimes.
not
even.
really getting anything.
Yeah,
You're
I
not
mean,
really getting
yeah.
a true
Inflation
promotion.
now has been at like 8-9%, and so those 3%, it's not cutting inflation.
No,
Yeah.
it's definitely not. But that's the
That's
great
why-
thing about real estate. The sky's the limit. You can make whatever you want.
Yeah, so if you find yourself in an economy with a 9% inflation and you're only getting 3% raises, call us because we have the real estate school, Books Real Estate Academy. Get your real estate license, and we'll teach you how to become a ring earner at Bricks. And with that, today we're talking about, what are we talking about today?
We're talking about the mindset of just being a new agent.
Yeah.
The mindset of a new agent.
We're
I
not
love this
new.
topic.
Sarah's definitely not new. She's been in the industry for a while, but I can say we've all kind of just, I would say, probably come out of the newness. Curtis, not so much.
right.
Well, here's
You've been doing it a long
what's
time.
here's what's cool about that, because I don't know if cool is the right word, but interesting about that. The mindset of a new agent is so powerful, whether it's traumatic or it could be a good experience. It could be a learning experience. I mean, I will tell you that if you go talk to any agent in our industry, no matter how successful they are, they will all remember what they felt like when they were a new agent. And so that's why it's so important to talk about this particular topic, because we all have our own experiences when we first got into the industry, and we're all going to have our own story of how we broke through and got past the barrier of the very beginning of not making very much money, and it taking a while to fill up your pipeline, which we'll talk more into that, and then ultimately, closing deals.
So with that being said, what to you guys, any one of you can answer this, is what defines a new agent to you? What is a new agent?
Like what makes a new agent's mindset?
Yeah.
I can answer that. It could be, honestly, I say a new agent is somebody that has not done like consecutive amount of deals and has had like a steady flow of a pipeline going for a consecutive amount of months. Because once you get up and going and you get going, you're not a new agent anymore. You're good. You understand your business and you just keep going forward. Because I meet people all the time. They either just got their license last week, or they've been an agent for a couple years and they still haven't done their first deal, or maybe they've only done like 3 or 4 deals.
I mean, my story, I did 4 deals in 4 years. I did 1 deal a year, is what it, that's the average of what I did, but I literally did 1 deal a year. And by the time that I quit my job and went full time, that first full-time year, I was a new agent, even though I had my license for, 5-6 years.
Yep.
So it's not about just how long you've been doing it. It's the experience you have for the time you've been doing it.
Yeah.
Right. I remember I asked you one day, Curtis, we were just in the office and we had some downtime, and I asked you, I said, when was it that you really felt like that you got a hold of real estate and you were comfortable and you knew where you're at with your business, and you're like, I could really do this real estate thing? And you said to me, and it's really took me back a little bit, you said it wasn't in a matter of when, but how much experience I got, because you can go get that, and just depending on how much effort you put into it, right?
Yep.
And so that kind of struck to me. I was like, okay, so it just comes down to how much you can get, how many people you can get in front of, how many times you can fail or learn from those lessons whenever you're trying to break out of your shell of being a new agent. So I actually love that response, and that's what I tell most of my new agents that I get on my team as well.
I don't even remember that, so yeah.
Well, it's one of those things that stuck. It stuck. It stuck for sure.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
Exactly. Sarah, how about you?
I mean, I think the new agent phase is definitely, it can be year 1, year 5. If you're not producing basically enough income to bring home and live off of, then you're probably still a new agent, because this is an expensive career to get into. There's a lot of stress whenever you first get into it. You spend a lot of money getting into it, and then now you hear all these other shiny things to spend money into, to get rolling with it. So I think anyone, like she said, built up their pipeline. By the time you're making like a stable income that you feel comfortable with, you're probably getting consistent pipeline and consistent referrals as well.
Oh, yeah.
No, I like what you just said. There's so many fancy, shiny things out there, because it's true, and I tell people that all the time. You come into real estate and you think, okay, well, now I'm going to be a salesman. But little did you know that all these other people are trying to sell you stuff, right? People are trying to sell you, hey, buy Zillow leads. Hey, buy these leads. Hey, if you do this marketing, right, then you're going to get all these leads. Go spend $5,000 on a billboard, or just whatever. And there's just so many different things, and we tell people all the time. And that's what makes it, I think it's challenging at that point.
Very challenging.
Or even, hey, come to this brokerage, come to this brokerage, come to this brokerage. I have a cap, I have a transaction base, I have a monthly fee. It's like, as a new agent, you're like, what is going on?
Overwhelmed with information.
So
It's totally overwhelming, because there's so many different avenues to start your career, right? There's they want to sell you leads, or they say they want to sell you on getting a coach. And it's like, man, when you start off, you, especially as new agents, unless you just come from wealth, which most people don't just come from wealth, it can definitely be a little discouraging at some points, especially at the beginning, knowing that real estate can kind of take a little bit of time to get going and running, to build your pipeline and getting in front of people so you're making that consistent income. So it's quite interesting in seeing everyone's journeys of how it all starts and where they begin, especially when they're getting all types of shiny objects thrown in their face. And it's just,
I mean,
it's what's important getting a mentor, right?
We all have preconceived like ideas on what real estate is going to be like when we come into the industry as well.
Oh, yeah. Selling Sunset. I'm going to sell luxury homes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, well, you live in
one of those
Oklahoma.
people. Right. I mean, you don't think about that kind of stuff.
No, agreed.
Because when
agreed.
I got my license, the big show was $1 Million Listing, and it was the one in California, in Los Angeles. And I remember watching that show, and I was like, dang, they're getting commissions like that just for selling real estate. Like, I'm literally, that's what turned me on to looking into getting my license. I was like, I could do that, and got my license.
As
and,
everyone else says in the entire world.
And I got my license, and it wasn't until I literally was like doing an open house one Sunday for my broker that I realized, well, this commission's nowhere near what they're making on $1 Million Listing, because we're in Oklahoma, like you said. There are no $1 Million listings.
Average sales
They're
price,
few and
$250.
far between, And so, but I mean, as a new agent, you have to, like Dylan said, getting a mentor or a coach is super important. I don't care how you go about doing it, so that they can help you navigate the real estate world. It's like the wild, wild west with all the shiny objects, with everything we're talking about.
Well,
because
and ask questions.
yeah,
Right? Because, again, people are trying to sell you on it. And I tell people all the time, even when they come to bricks, I'm like, I'm trying to sell you on bricks. The only difference is I want you to ask me hard questions so that way I can answer them honestly. Make sure that this is something for you and your business.
and don't just ask questions to ask questions. Like,
No.
ask the questions that are going to help you learn what you need to know to be successful in real estate. And sometimes, I mean, agents don't know the right questions to ask, because there's so many, like, sometimes it's just over their head as far as like how it works and what's going on. And so, like, breaking in is not as easy as people might make it out to be.
Well, I actually was that agent that didn't know to ask certain questions. So whenever I first started, I hung my license at another brokerage with my sister-in-law, and I just was the typical statistic out there that just they say where you hang your license because of certain reasons. Well, I did it because of a family member, and I just fully put all my trust into her, and it just didn't work out. And the moment I knew I didn't know what I didn't know I was getting myself into, and what questions to ask as far as brokerages and what was going to be the best fit for me in my new agent career, was I was getting recruited, and they were telling me all these things, and
Telling you what you need to.
and I just remember I was like, I didn't even know I could ask that. Like, what?
Yeah.
I can ask about commission splits. I can ask about what all they're going to be doing for me. And just seriously, it just really opened up my mind. And the first thing I did is I went on Google and said, what questions do I need to ask brokerages?
I think a lot of people are like that, which is why that's part of why switching is such a common thing, because people just join up, and then as they meet other people in the industry, they learn things and like, oh, that'd be nice if I had that, or I could do that, or be in that system, or have that technology. And it's like, well, I'm gonna go get it. So they switch, you know, and
That's how I got
especially
Sarah over
Yeah,
here.
that's exactly.
Literally, that's how our conversation went.
I was like lacking mentorship, and I was able to get 5 deals rolling in my first 6 months with where I was previously, but I didn't have the guidance through it. And I was going to Brooke constantly, asking her questions, and she was providing the help that was more of a bother for where I started at, So really, mentorship is definitely key. And then if you have the right mentorship, I think it'll make you less timid in asking the right questions. I think that some places may want you to be timid because they don't want you to ask those questions.
Oh,
Correct.
agreed. They don't want you to figure it out.
And they want
No.
they want you to, especially if you're on a team, they just want you doing the busy work and make you feel like you're doing something for yourself when you're really building something for them.
Yes.
So
I like what you just said, because that's what I tell people all the time is if you're a real estate agent, you're hanging your license at a brokerage. Yes, you have to do it, right? Because our rules tell us to. But at the end of the day, you're the reason why that office makes money, and you're the reason why that office grows. So what are they doing to help benefit you in your business to help you grow?
You're interviewing them just as much, if not more, than they are interviewing you.
Correct.
Actually, most brokerages don't. If you're breathing and you pass the test, most brokerages are going to let you come on board.
Wait, that one moves.
You know?
Get them.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a cricket.
Wait. So, I lost my thought. Oh no. So what Sarah said though. So if you find yourself in a position where you feel like you are inconveniencing somebody for asking questions or for wanting help, you probably need to reconsider where you're at, because just having that support is so important for new agents. And maybe that not that brokerage is a bad brokerage, but maybe they just don't cater to the new agent, because not every brokerage will cater to a new agent. They'll tell you that they do, in a sense of they're just hoping that you're the type of person that just will figure it out on your own and you will go be successful, and then they got a good producer on their
But
team.
they're missing something big.
They're missing something huge, because
Sarah did 5 deals in 6 months. That's big.
it's incredible. And then when she came here, she just continued but thrived, and it totally allowed her to. I don't want to speak for her, but I feel like she was able to come into her own element, and like just really start to reach her potential. And even to this day, I think that there's more that Sarah, not to put any pressure on you, but I think I
Go
think
sell more houses, Sarah.
Not from that perspective. I think I think she's doing great from that perspective. But I really think that Sarah, whatever Sarah wants to do, I feel like Sarah can accomplish. And even though Sarah is when you come in here, she's very quiet and I would say more of an introvert, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Which
there's ways to work it though to make
yes.
it.
Oh, 100%.
Everyone has a place in this career.
And I said
They
that
really
I said
do.
that on purpose, because the people out there that are introverts, like, it's
you're an
okay.
introvert,
I'm an
technically.
introvert. My wife says I'm an introverted extrovert.
An ambivert.
I'm an extrovert when I have to be, but I'm an introvert because I want to be.
Yeah.
And so, but I mean, and those are skills that you just kind of have to kind of teach yourself when you get into this industry. But the big thing I think that Sarah said was that she felt like it was a burden to the people where she was at. And if you feel that way, then maybe reconsider and maybe ask questions other places that support new agents.
Or people that say,
Yeah.
I'm loyal. Well, I love that you're loyal, but is the loyalty being returned back to you?
That was my
So-
argument.
That was your
I'm
argument?
very loyal. I want to, but some places just aren't right for the new agent. And that's no disrespect to brokerages that thrive with these top producers or anything that
No.
maybe don't have the training available for the newer agents. But like coming into here and having all the material available, it was online, being able to go through it. Then I started learning the questions to ask, because it's all just spelt out right there for you. And not every brokerage has that. So that's why it's important to find that right fit. And then when they're giving you the questions to ask already and the answers to those, then it builds that confidence. And
Don't
helps tenfold.
Don't let somebody take advantage of your loyalty.
No.
I mean, again, we value and love loyalty, right? But
Too much greed.
it's so easy as somebody who, if you're somebody who's like a loyal person and you pick a brokerage and you're like automatically giving your loyalty to something that hasn't proven themselves. I think as people, like for whatever reason, we're like, especially when it comes to a job or our work or who we work for, like we're very prone to not think about ourselves first. It's like we always,
yeah, it's like we're built to serve.
Yeah,
them or
right.
whatever.
Yeah, because
That makes
because it's a job, and so like we're here to do what they tell us to do, and I'm a good worker and I'm a good person and I want you to like me and I want to do good. And it's like, yes to all those things, but put yourself first. Like you're like,
And don't be disrespectful.
Correct.
But there's a balance, right? Because if and I talked to my wife and stuff about it, because like me in the corporate world, I didn't play around. I was just a bulldog. I said whatever I wanted. Where my wife, she is like the best human being on the face of the planet. I say it all the time if y'all know her. But she just truly wants to help people. She's, I don't want to say people pleaser. That sounds negative, but she's just a caring person.
it's
So
not
we
negative.
talk-
There's people pleasers
She-
out
she-
there.
we,
Yes.
we talk about
She's a true server.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so she's at a corporate job right now, and it's kind of similar to the same realm that I was in. And so sometimes, like, her boss will come in and say something and just completely disrespects her. Doesn't care about her as a person, nothing like that. But she'll just go and do what it is that they want her to do anyways because of that. And so there's a border, there's just a fine line where don't let your boss disrespect you, because you are a human being.
Your brokerage, your place of employment, if you are putting yourself first, I mean, they should want you to put yourself first. They should want what's best for you as an individual.
Correct.
Because what's best for you as an individual, if you are thriving, that's going to be good for the company that you are working for.
Mic drop.
And so if your company has a problem with you trying to do what is going to be good for you and your family, or what's best for you, then again, maybe it's time to reconsider. And I mean, we've had people even here at our brokerage that they start pursuing different paths or different dreams, and it would be a disservice to them if we tried to stop them from pursuing those things, because then they're not going to be thriving, even for us.
Yeah.
And if you give them the opportunity to pursue that passion or that dream, what if it doesn't work out? Or what if, how many times I've had a passion project and I'm like, oh, I'm going to go do this. And then I start it and then I'm like, it's not what I thought it was going to be.
Oh, yes.
In fact, I think I enjoyed what I was doing much more. And then you kind of can go back to doing that. So like, you create that loyalty and you build a good relationship when you are truly looking out for somebody's best interest. And if somebody feels like their best interest doesn't align with the company, I guess you could say, it's okay, because that doesn't mean your relationship is over. It just means that, maybe a different time it'll come back, So
I love it.
you should definitely be at a place where they want what's best for you.
Well, do we want to move on?
Yeah,
to
we probably
our
should.
Next bullet point.
Yeah.
There's just a lot that we could say about
A new agent mindset.
and the mindset getting into this. But the next one, even if it's a seasoned agent where their sphere is dried up. So I've met plenty of realtors. They got into this and they have a heck of a sphere. They may have done something in their previous career that made them talk to a bunch of people,
So
or they
connected.
they came from a family with money that's connected or something like that. But there's still a limit to that, especially if you're not going out and getting new people.
So they've done a lot of deals. So they're not new in a sense
No.
of understanding the contract or how to get a deal to the closing table and
No,
how
they
to
know-
show
they know-
houses.
yeah.
They know real estate, but their business is stuck, right?
Yes, it dries up.
Yeah. How do I take my business and make it from, how do I build a consistent business?
Correct.
Right. And that's
That's kind of
something else. Yeah.
a new agent to a certain extent.
Right. It's
right?
it's a different kind of new agent. It's a
You can separate the two or something.
yeah. How do you take it from? I have experience. I've done the deals, and I got off to a quick start, but like you said, it dried up, or your referral partners maybe just aren't sending referrals to you anymore, or whatever the reason may be. Maybe for a lot of people right now, during COVID, people were doing a ton of deals. Business was booming for a lot of people, and now the market changed. So it might not just be your sphere drying up. It could just be the market conditions have changed to where you have to adapt and to continue to do business. And if you don't, well, you're going to be stuck. And so how do you build off of that and build a consistent business no matter what the market conditions are, no matter what your sphere is doing?
Yep.
If they're not sending you deals, it doesn't matter because you're getting deals from other sources. And so how do we do that? How does it, what is that? I guess we're not trying to tell people how to do that on this one, but
It's just like
the mindset
Yeah,
of
just
that,
the
like-
mindset of I guess if you're stuck, like what do you do?
well, I mean, I don't know if we want to go into, are we going into helping people what to do in that case? Or are we just talking about the mindset of somebody in
fair.
that position?
The possibilities are endless.
Yeah.
Well, if it's going to be the how, I just say pick up the phone.
That's it.
If it's the how,
Well, don't listen to, I mean, if you want to build a consistent business, then you got to do consistent activity, right? And you're going to be sold the shiny objects, right? And I'll tell you this, I do believe that a lot of those shiny objects will work. They do work. But the problem is,
You just have to be consistent.
Yeah, and it takes time for some of them, right?
Yeah.
They don't tell you that. And so they get your money up front and you do it for a month and you're not getting anything from it.
It doesn't work.
Well, it doesn't work. I'm going to go on to the next shiny object. Well, it takes a lot longer than a month to get to prove a system works,
Yes.
So, I mean, even for some of the stuff that we teach, you could have success fairly quickly, but you have to have consistent activity every single day in order for it to work. Because, we could, all the stuff that we teach, if somebody doesn't stick with it, then they're going to throw their hands up and say, it doesn't work. I've already done it,
Well, I think too, talking about seasoned agents that have been doing it and then their sphere starts to dry up. Those are usually agents around like 3, 4, 5 years. I've seen people with 6 years, and the fail rate is true. There's almost a 90% fail rate within agents within the first 5 years. So to me, it's like almost like 5 years is almost like a new agent in a way.
Yeah,
Like a
because I
time
mean,
span.
I guess
did bunny
to
ears.
get past the new agent phase, the reason that the NAR does the statistic off 5 years is because you need to go through a full cycle of a good market and a down market.
Oh, that makes sense.
And if you can get through both, then you have consistent activity and you're able to consistently generate business no matter what the market conditions are.
And that's huge, especially right now when people
Oh,
talk
yeah.
about COVID.
Yeah,
COVID
and interest
market.
rates and all sorts of things. It's just there's so many things that impact your business, and so
It's the perception out there that gets told to the public. So it's just our jobs to maneuver as agents to re-educate ourselves so we can educate our clients. And yeah, it's hard for people to change that after, to your point.
we just onboarded a new agent. I'm not going to say who it is, and this
Smith.
this is within the last month.
I'm just kidding.
This
We don't even have Joe Smith.
Yeah, I almost said it. I was going to try to think of another common name, and I almost said Sarah Johnson, and I'm like, wait, we
Wait,
did.
she did
we did
onboard.
just onboard Sarah Johnson. Not talking about Sarah Johnson, but I am talking about somebody who is in this exact scenario.
Oh.
and I'm going to tell you, they've been in the real estate for a decade, and their sphere had their whole, like, they never had to do anything other than connect with their sphere, and their sphere gave them all their business. Okay. So this person had done a ton of deals, right? We get to COVID, the deals get even better and better, and then COVID stops, interest rates climb, and now this particular person is working in an environment that they've never worked in before. And the reason that they came to us is because they need to go back to the basics. They're like, man, I need to learn how to prospect.
I kind of like that because I'm going to cut you off real quick
yeah.
for a sports analogy, because I remember all the time playing sports, basketball in specific, or even cheer, to be honest with you, and we'd have a competition or a game and it was terrible, okay? And it was like just dumb stuff. And it was always like little tiny stuff, like fumbling the ball, can't dribble correctly, and stuff like that. And I always remember the coach, we've been doing it forever. They make us come back to practice and be like, all right, back to basics.
Back to the basics.
We're
back
doing
to the
dribbling
basics.
drills.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ugh.
Well, this particular person was like, they're like, I've never had to prospect before. And now I got no deals on the table. I'm struggling. I'm so used to getting deals from my sphere. What do I do? Well, they're not a new agent. They've been doing it for a decade, and they were doing it successfully. Why spheres dry up? I mean, it happens to the best of us, and that doesn't mean it'll be dry forever. No. But the market conditions have caused it to dry up for whatever reason, and so he was so used to not doing certain activities that require you to get business, and he was fortunate enough to not have to do it even early on in his career. Well, now he has to learn what he didn't learn before, and we get in these habits as well, and he's got to break a habit, and it's not easy to do. So I think going back to having somebody in your corner, a mentor, a coach that can really help push you through is, again, so important.
Well, I want to harp on the mentorship, because people don't realize, and as a new agent, as a mindset, sometimes you'll go to a place and you'll get a mentor, and you'll do a transaction or do like a handful of them, and you're like, okay, I know how to do real estate. But they have like a whole other world coming to them, because it's forever changing, right? Maybe that was the person that focused on their sphere, or maybe they only just did Op City leads or whatever else it is. There's so much in real estate, and we're proving it. And even people like this that have been here for a decade, they're coming to us because they need a coach, they need a mentor. So that's going more into the third bullet point. I was
going to say let's transition to it. Building your pipeline, dealing with emotions of a transaction. And
so that's literally like what I'm talking about. Like at the beginning of your real estate career, you have to have the mindset, and it's terrible because you're building your pipeline. Nobody knows that you sell real estate. You can't post a Canva flyer and that's it, or you can't go spend $5,000 on marketing, and people don't know who you are. They don't trust you.
Yeah, go get yourself a billboard.
You haven't proven yourself to work, right?
Hey, those billboards work.
Well, people talk about marketing, and marketing is so important, but not as a new agent. You just need to put your face in the world, right? So that right there is already a huge mindset. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're supposed to say. You're scared to talk to people because you don't want to be salesy to your friends or your aunt and uncle or whoever.
And you shouldn't have to be.
No, you shouldn't have to be.
They should come to you when it's time, right? But in the meantime, show them that you're serious about this career.
Correct.
By doing deals with other people, with strangers, with people that you meet because you've been in this industry. You just got to get yourself out into the world and get in front of people, and you've got to get in the habit of talking about real estate, or at least making sure you can mention that is what you do for a living, and you can serve people and help them, with their needs when it comes to real estate. And building your pipeline is the absolute best thing that you can possibly do, and you should never stop building your pipeline. A new agent mindset is one where you finally get somebody who's interested in talking to you about a deal, right? And I see this time and time again where they meet somebody. Let's say this person is like, yeah, I want to sell my house, and they're actually picking up the phone and they're talking to you, and you feel good about it. And what does a new agent do? They get tunnel vision.
Then they stop
and
prospecting.
They're like, I got one. I'm gonna give all my energy and effort on this one person and show them I get the best customer service. I always answer my phone. I will do everything you ask of me, and I'm gonna show you that no one works harder than me. Well,
and then what happens?
They go somewhere else. Right, or they're just they're nice, but they're nice to you and everybody else. Well, let's say they list with somebody else because they've been having conversations with multiple agents, and they're just that type of person that picks up the phone and will talk to you. Well, as soon as they list with somebody else and you had tunnel vision, you now have no other deals to work. Right, a good agent will always have deals on the table so that when you lose one, it hurts every time you lose one, right?
Oh, yeah, but it doesn't hurt as bad.
It doesn't hurt as bad when you have other prospects to work with. And one last thing, and I'll let you guys get a word in, is whenever you are, now I think I lost my train of thought.
I was like, I don't
Bring
think
it
I
back
finished my thought
around.
about my mentor.
Bring it back. Bring it back.
Well, I'll have to think about it. Basically, I'm going to let you guys go.
Okay, well, okay, let me just finish.
It's cool. I'm gonna let you go now.
Circling back, way back around, but going back to, those people that have a dried up sphere and they're not getting anything and stuff like that. That's what I tell people. It's so valuable to have a mentor. It's not 3 transactions and you know how to sell real estate, because it's not. Every deal is different. Real estate's constantly changing. He just talked about the NAR, about the going through the up and down cycle. So you need a mentor for at least 5 years at that point. But my argument is you forever need a mentor, especially if you're making a career out of this, because going back to building the pipeline, yeah, that's great. You're building it. And that is so stressful alone. And then what Curtis is saying, as soon as somebody gets one, say you actually get somebody under contract, okay? Your tunnel vision is so intense because you're focusing on that one client. But then I'll tell you, you get that one client, it is such an emotional process. If you don't have a mentor that's like helping you set proper expectations and stuff like that to avoid a lot of it, or even, things still come up. Like I still have clients that get emotional and I have to sit down and have hard conversations with mine. But that right there can just tear you away, especially if you care a lot about people. So
the emotion aspect is a huge, huge part. I remember what I was going to say, and then just lost it again.
Well, good. Let me
in the
finish.
middle, I know. In the
That
middle of you
is-
talking, go again. I'm gonna
Okay.
basically.
That is a true
Well, let me
real
finish
truth.
real
Basically,
quick. Hold on, ready?
I'm gonna
I
let
got
Brooke.
it.
I'm gonna
I
let
got
Brooke
it.
go.
Okay, I'm done.
Okay, she's done. Which gives me an in here.
And then maybe you should let Sarah talk.
No, I was actually going to ask Sarah some questions and like.
Uh-oh.
So that's not what I forgot, but I'll remember at
Realtor
some point.
brain.
Yeah. No. Well, hold on. I think I can talk through it. It had to do with when I was saying that you get tunnel vision. Oh, I remember. A good agent. A good agent.
Has realtor brain.
There's a reason why a good agent doesn't always necessarily answer their phone every single time that a customer calls,
Oh,
or
gosh,
that
yes.
or that like when you want to go look at a house, like they're not available to look at, on the customer's schedule every single time. It's because they're working with multiple people. If you're out there and you're working with an agent and you come across as when do you want to look? I can look tomorrow at 8. Yeah, I'm free. 1 o'clock. Yeah, I'm free. Yep. No, I'm free. And you're free at all times. Like that's going to signal to them that you don't got any other business going on, right?
yeah.
But so even if you don't have any other business going on, at least give the perception like, oh, I do have a meeting at 1. Can you do 2? If you can't, let me see if I can call the person I'm meeting with. I can rearrange it,
Yeah.
And then say, hey, guess what? I called them and we can meet at 1 o'clock now. But you got to be busy, be proactive because you're building a pipeline. You always don't get tunnel vision is basically the idea. But
Just keep going. Just keep pulling it in there. If somebody tells you no, okay, cool, move on. I know that's
Yep.
hard mindset to have, but if you're constantly just talking to people, and I tell people all the time, if you don't want to appear salesy, all you have to do is, hey, my name's Brooke. What do you do for a living?
Just
Just
ask questions.
ask that question. Ask that single question, and it's immediately they're going to be like, oh, well, I work in IT. What do you do for a living? That's your in. So just a lot easier.
simple. So, Sarah,
Yes.
put you on the
Dun,
spot.
Dun, dun, dun.
What would you say was the biggest battle that you had to face emotionally as a new agent?
Oh,
There's a lot. I think that you had a lot that you went through. Not just and it could be anything. It could be through a transaction. It could be
Yeah.
through the brokers that you were at.
We all had them.
we all had to go through that. But what would you say is the biggest emotional hurdle for a new agent to overcome?
the fear of losing a client
Yeah.
just because you don't answer that call. Like now I have a do not disturb that clicks on. Whenever I was first in it, I had no boundaries. Now I can
Yeah.
draw boundaries. Now I can draw expectations. I
Do
had
those
to-
boundaries cost you clients, or they're understanding more so than you thought?
No, they're more understanding.
Yeah.
And like at this point, if they can't understand that, then I don't know that I want to work with them.
Right.
And
Yes.
so that's kind of reaching that point versus chasing every business to like filtering out what you'll tolerate and won't tolerate, which most people, like 99% of the time, it's fine. But like right whenever I came over to Bricks, I had to fire my first client. I was lacking a lot of mentorship, needed a lot of help with it. And it was hard because it was also a good friend of mine, but it was like complete disrespect on the phone. And I didn't realize like this friend's life had kind of adapted in a more darker area.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
like it's changed. And so, and we lost contact, whatever. But anyways, it was managing those emotions and it being a friend too, and having to set those boundaries and, you know, and being like, I'm not going to tolerate you talking to me like this. I mean, I was straight up told,
Yeah.
this isn't the industry for you. You need to get out. Like,
Oh,
I remember
buy-
you
buy
saying that.
client
Oh,
and
that makes
buy
me so
a-
mad.
Oh, I
Yeah.
remember. I was like, what?
Joke's on them.
Absolutely not. Look at her now.
Look at me
Right
now.
I always
Just
like to
kidding.
bring back question when someone says that to me. It's like, who are you to say that? You know, what are you doing? Who are you to tell me what I can and can't do as far as like in
Have
this
you sold a
industry or
house?
anything?
Yeah.
You
Or-
know what I mean?
Emotionally, whenever like another agent disregards you because of your experience, you could
I
have the
hate
more
that.
knowledge,
Hate
the
that.
more recent deals, but feeling like you have to prove yourself. I had it happen whenever I started out. I had it happen more recently. Mm-hmm. I was more timid whenever I started out. I didn't stand up for myself. I thought like all these agents and brokers are people I could eventually work with and for, so I want to treat them with respect, which is true. But also, you need to have
Oh, wait, what was that?
self-respect,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
it's you want to have good relationships
Yes,
with these other
with
agents,
everybody.
these other
You are
brokerages.
working with them.
Yes, but like to a certain extent, you have to stand up for yourself and not tolerate that kind of emotional mind game they're trying to play with you to discount what you do know. Like you know
yes.
that you're doing the right thing, but someone else is using your lack of experience, and they may be in it for 10 years and have done like 5 deals because they do it part time. But
Well, I've
they're
been
like,
doing it for 20
The know-
years.
the
Yeah,
know
they'll bring it
all.
up.
20 years wrong.
Yeah, I know. You've
right,
been doing it
yeah.
for 20
I
years
seen it
incorrectly.
whenever
sir.
someone throws that out there, like I've been doing it for 20 years. I'm like, okay, well, because you said that, I just lost complete faith in your ability to do real estate because you shouldn't have to say that you've been doing it for 20 years because what your actions and your knowledge and the way you are handling a transaction should automatically show people that you've been doing this for
Correct.
a long time. And so much so that we have had people I've had people call the office back when I was the managing broker and I got these calls. I had somebody call several times and they would give compliments to some of our agents, and they were newer agents, and they said, I was shocked when I found out that this agent was only on like their 3rd deal ever. They seem like they've been doing it for years. And I think that's one of the best compliments that you can get is when you handle
Yes.
yourself with professionalism and you do the things that you're supposed to do and you maintain your composure and keep your emotions in check for such an emotional industry. I think that goes a long way. And when you have to try to exercise a position of authority based on experience, then you automatically aren't trying to work together to come to a solution, you
Yes.
know? And so, we have to recognize that as agents. And, we always say we're unlicensed therapists, and we are. I mean, not just with our clients, but sometimes with other agents.
realtors, yeah.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
100% on that.
I'll spend a lot of time on the phone with the agents. Sometimes one I'm working a deal with right now, and she'll just be like, I'm having a day, this or that, and I need to tell her to come on over.
Yeah.
I'll tell
Yeah.
you, I've gotten 2 1-star reviews. Neither one of them were my clients.
And guess how many 1-star reviews we have at Bricks in total?
There's 3.
There's 3. I was going to say there's 3.
So-
I wanted to say there's only 2.
But
Oh,
but it's because
What was the third
I can't remember. I know there's 3. There's 3 though.
I don't
I was like, I
remember
know
the
it wasn't
third.
just me.
And
There's
it's
somebody
like,
else.
And it's like Brooke got 2 out of the 3.
But they were not my clients. They were the other realtors' clients because they couldn't control their clients.
Yeah,
at that
like what are you
point.
doing to piss off other people's clients?
I'm not. I'm just telling the other.
Are you
realtors,
not?
fighting for my
Twice.
They are
clients.
looking you up
Twice. Hey,
online.
there's a consistent theme
Rick,
here.
you need to stop calling other people's clients
I
and
just,
pissing them off.
I
Yeah.
just don't like BS. I just want to work together and we all have the same common goal. Like what Sarah just said and Curtis. Like if we're working with all these realtors, I don't care what brokerage you're at. So at the end of the day, if we have a contract, we're a team. I don't care at
Yeah.
all what you do, how much commission you make.
We got a common
whatever
goal.
else. We have a common goal, but also I have to protect my clients. So if you don't want to help me get to the common goal, at the end of the day, I'm going to protect my client.
And we got to understand that the other side is also going to try to protect their client.
Correct.
And we should understand, like, okay, you're like, if someone's doing something just to be a bully, then it's like, or to like, sometimes people's clients have no idea that their agent is costing them a deal, you know? And
Yeah.
you know, and
There's
they
a
never
week.
and they never will, you know, because it's like they don't get to see how they are whenever they're talking to other agents. But man, a bad agent can cost you your house, the house of your dreams.
Oh,
Yes, it
100%.
can.
Because you don't know what the other agent's saying to the other realtor,
Yep.
and
Yep. Like,
Yes.
are they presenting all the information correctly? Are they, or are they just trying to win the negotiation? Or you know, sometimes I don't know what the motivation is for
Yeah.
some of these agents.
oh yes,
That's
Dylan
how I
just had
feel.
one.
I currently am somewhat going through one right now, and I feel like just more reflecting back on the conversations and the way that she had said some things to me. I feel like the deal is just about her winning the deal and the negotiations of it all, not really about the clients getting into the house or the clients
Yeah.
selling the house.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's not that serious. We're just trying to. It's the same thing. We have a common goal. Here's one thing that I know. If we don't meet that common goal, we both don't get paid.
Right.
Correct.
I mean, so it is. I would
Nobody
You
say,
and I
paid.
both don't win.
I would
So I don't know
argue-
why we're acting like this.
I would argue that it is that serious, although
Well, no, it is
from a different
serious.
perspective,
Right.
Right. It's not like that as serious as like, I got to win.
Yeah,
right?
like I got to get one over you. I'm going to
Yeah.
get the better deal for my client.
Well,
like that doesn't make you a
the
better
deal,
realtor.
The deal fell apart. Guess what? You just lost.
Right.
You know, great for you. You caused us to want to go find another place. You know. Okay. So one other question, Sarah. Would you say that it is safe to say, and we say this all the time, but is it safe to say that there is no such thing as an emergency in real estate? A true emergency, unless you're up against a deadline and
There's
it's like
emotional emergencies.
there's like an hour. Even then, I'd argue that there's not an emergency. I mean, like to where like if somebody doesn't pick up the phone like that second, like the whole thing's gonna die. It's like if people can just be patient. And even if you do talk to somebody right away, you need to give the client time to cool down or whatever. And so, would you say it's safe to say that?
Yeah, I don't think that there's really anything that's that urgent. I get it though because I was there. And
Right. It's hard to get to that point. Yes.
Yeah, and you like filter what is a more immediate need. Like if the TRRs due that night, then maybe that's a more immediate need. However, there are still other options for
Yeah.
extending the deadline if need to like figure things out.
Yep.
Yeah.
So no, it's not really an emergency. No, my client situation isn't typically an emergency. As long as I have my deadlines figured out and where I'm at, then
Know your deadlines, because if a TRR is due that night, then you should have gotten with your mentor days before, right? So take some
broker,
or
whoever
somebody
you're talking to.
take some accountability.
Hopefully you have somebody.
Yes, take some accountability in what you're doing, and realize that if you're doing that, you will never find yourself in a position where there's a true emergency and you need somebody to answer their phone right this second. As a new agent, that's one of the hardest things to learn is when your client is pushing back and they're upset and you're like, what do I do? It's like we just don't want to have the problem stuck in our head for a long time, right?
Oh yeah, that, and a lot of people are like right now kind of people.
Yeah,
too.
and we want to answer like right now. We want to know what to do. We don't want to just sit on it. But if you can learn to just sit on it, good things will happen. Like just give it time. But like Sarah said, know your timelines, because if you know your timelines, then you can get ahead of a true real estate emergency. Don't wait till an hour before the deadline to be like, I should probably call somebody.
Well, that's a that's a you problem. We can't fix that.
Exactly, but people will blame it on us.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
So, my coaching advice is stay ahead of your timelines. Talk with people about your options. If we're waiting on a third party to get back to us, then we'll tell you your option of, hey, there's get the extension prepared so that if we don't get our answer in time, you can go ahead and get that sent off, and not be so stressed.
Yeah, and I think what will really help people whenever they feel like they have the emergency, I need to get it done now or whatever, I think the biggest thing that will help is communication. Communicate it to people. Hey, this is going on. I need a little bit more time. This is what I need to do for us to move forward or whatever it is. And I think that can help a lot of your problems if you just can communicate whatever it is that you feel like is an emergency, right?
Yeah.
Even in negotiations too. I think you read the Never Split the Difference one.
Yes.
It talks about time being an important tool to use if used appropriately.
Correct.
Oh yeah, I mean, I use time to my advantage all the time because it will reveal people's how desperate they are.
Well, I got an extra $400 in my thing that I just did because the other agent on their end was rushing. And, the service that we got for it was a lot cheaper than what we were getting. I said, okay, we'll take that.
We'll take it. Yeah. You want to get something done right now?
You want to rush it so quickly? Then
how's those negotiating skills?
That's what
working out for
happens,
you?
you know.
Yeah.
So definitely, time is really, in a sense, it's on your time if you just allow it to, and you learn how to just be patient, like you said.
Maneuver it.
Most definitely.
But overall, I mean, just a mindset of a new agent. Like, if you guys are out there and you're new, like, just meet with somebody. Meet with a friend that's been in it for a while and talk to them about it. Because I truly believe if you understand that to a certain level, then from there, you can figure out what it is you need to do.
Right.
And if you want some good coaching and good mentorship, I know a place.
It's pretty great.
It's pretty great. It's all right.
You know, they got cool colors.
Anyways.
Okay, so man, hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. Are you guys are we playing a game?
Maybe.
Do we?
That works.
Sorry,
I
guys.
wanna read
Sorry,
them.
you guys don't get
I
to
wanna be
see
the reader.
You
Lauren's
don't
pretty
get
face
you don't
today.
get to
She
see
doesn't wanna be in
downs
the
with the get
camera.
downs.
Down with the get down.
Hey guys, if
see
you guys
us.
have Taylor Swift concert tickets, then let us know. Lauren will pay out the ass for them.
Yeah, she will. She said
We pay
top,
her so much money for all the McDonald's sponsorships that we
top dollar for those
So
tickets.
if when you're watching this, if there's a Taylor Swift concert anywhere near, I mean, she'll travel too, anywhere near Oklahoma City.
get.
Anywhere on Earth.
You let us
On
know.
Earth?
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Anywhere.
Australia.
Yeah, she will
She's
go.
going to Russia.
So you're you're welcome. You're
Anyways,
welcome. Yeah,
would you rather have a tail or a third arm?
Tail.
Dude, third arm.
Yeah, 1,000%.
You
man.
can hold a phone and like
Yes, a third arm. You get so
Oh,
much
like,
done.
That's a great real estate. Would you rather?
Yeah, it's
What-
cool,
Why would you want a
but-
tail?
Well,
You instantly went
Yeah.
tail.
tail.
He's an anime. Like you got
Exactly, man. I go back to my Dragon Ball roots. I
Yeah, but
always
what
thought
if-
that was badass that they had a tail. I was like, dude, that'd be pretty cool, man.
Man, you know how
Have a
many
little
people would
tail
mess? I would
around.
grab it. I'd
Hey, but like, is it like
pull
a
on it,
monkey
you know?
tail? What kind of tail is it? Because if it's a monkey tail, they can
Yeah.
grab
Again,
things.
you
can't ask
cannot
questions.
ask questions.
Oh my god!
And you
Here
can't,
we go.
It's not
with
like you can
asking the
fly with
questions
it or
again.
anything, or like I mean,
but
you know.
an extra arm is like a monkey tail. It'll grab things.
Oh, that's true.
So-
I would still like to have
yeah.
a tail.
I mean, I guess your tail could like hold up your phone too while you type.
Exactly.
That'd be kind of cool.
I would have a tail.
But an arm, you know.
I feel like Dylan would have like a rat tail or something.
That's messed up. It'd be a possum tail.
That looks like a rat tail.
Okay. Real quickly, if you can choose the type of tail it would be, what would it be?
It'd definitely probably be like a monkey tail. They're just a lot more
They're durable, strong.
strong. They have looks like they
walk
have
on
more
them pretty
control
much,
with them.
yeah.
You know, it would be a monkey tail.
Okay, cool.
All right. Well,
Weird, but
would
cool.
you rather?
Or tiger tail. That'd be kind of cool too with the stripes.
Just because of the stripes?
Yeah, just look cool and fluffy.
It wouldn't match anything else.
I think you could just buy that
Yeah, you
I know
really
a
could.
shop.
I won't want to do
That's
that.
a great point. Just tape it to your
No,
ass.
but you can't control it. I can't do anything with it.
I mean,
I mean, hey, plastic surgery has come a long way.
you could.
I would rather
You
not.
could wag it.
But no, for real,
Wag my tail?
Yeah.
There's for reals that leopard man. Have you guys seen him? He tatted himself up like a leopard, and he lives in the wild like a
wow.
leopard.
You're gonna have to wait till you are
Gosh,
done with
that's
real
crazy.
estate.
That's crazy.
I
going
saw it
that
like
far?
forever. What'd you say?
If he's going that far, he's gonna have to wait till he's done with the real estate because that might affect business. I said
Yes,
anyone
the-
can do this, but like
You don't
Well,
think a
except-
third arm
you.
would
I
affect
mean,
it?
except for the community of people who like to be animals, he would get to sell houses to them.
No, because they just live in the jungle too.
a lot of
Yeah, I'll sell
opportunities
them their
there.
jungle
You
house.
can sell them
houses.
some sticks and mud.
Well, there's a lot of you guys just
There could be
offended a whole
houses in the
community.
jungle.
There's a lot of people who like to be animals
That's
that
not
own
offending
houses.
women. That's how they live.
It
No,
is true.
there's a lot of
No,
people
there's
that
a-
have houses that are animals. That
That,
Like to
there's
be
animals that have
animals.
houses.
Okay,
What's
well,
it,
tell me who
Zootopia?
you know.
Have you not been
because
to a
I've
pride
seen
parade?
it.
What do you mean?
Been to a what?
A pride parade.
Oh yeah.
Jesus.
What do you mean?
Just kidding. Most of us are gay up here.
It's 50-50.
Take
Yeah,
a guess.
it is.
Take a guess in your comments. Take a guess who up
Yeah,
here is
see
gay.
It's
who's gay.
definitely
And-
Curtis.
Thanks, Brooke.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
Just means you're happy.
I know.
But
That's what
would
it
you
means.
rather have a snail crawl up your nose or down your throat?
Oh, shit.
Well, if it goes up your nose, it's going down your throat.
Ooh, good
So I would
point.
say down my throat.
Yeah, so
because
I don't have to go
skip the
through the
nose
whole-
part. Yeah,
There you go. It's a good one.
Yeah, I agree
Good
with
way
that.
to think that through.
yeah,
Yeah, just down the throat.
yeah.
I had snails for the first time.
Was it good?
No.
Like
You didn't like
caviar.
it?
Isn't it
Was
it-
caviar?
okay.
Caviar.
No, that's fish eggs. Escargot.
Oh yeah, escargot. There
Escargot.
you go.
Was
Yeah.
it like you didn't like it because of the flavor or the
No,
texture
no,
or what
Or 'cause
was
you
it?
knew it was
really
snails.
good. It was really freaking
You're
good.
like, well, this is snails and
But it
gross.
was like, I think because I knew it was snails and it was a little chewy.
Just
And
your
then,
mind.
not gonna
Ooh.
lie, I cut it open. I shouldn't have looked underneath inside of it.
Why'd you do that?
Why?
Because I just wanted a little
Oh.
bite.
Lauren-
I understand you're supposed to just pop it, but I'm
I
not
wish you
doing
guys
that.
could see Lauren's face. She's looking like she wants to try some of that.
Yeah.
Listen, I only took a little
Especially-
bite and I was done. I can say I have tried escargot.
Lauren, would you eat a plate full of snails for a Taylor Swift ticket?
Ooh.
Guys, if
Ooh,
you have
she has to
tickets,
think
if you
about
have
it.
tickets,
Oh.
you guys could get her to do almost anything.
We'll put it on
probably.
video.
Yeah.
She said maybe.
She said maybe. I think it's a yes.
That's-
I
maybe
think
it's not a
yes.
no.
Okay. Is there floor
okay.
seats?
Floor seats.
Well, okay, what
no,
backstage
no, you
passes?
yep, you need backstage.
Backseat
You
passes.
need a meet and
you
greet.
get to meet her,
Like
get her
an hour meet and
autograph.
greet.
An hour.
and if
She's
so,
eating 10
then I
plates.
will eat the snails
you
with you
think
and
Taylor
go.
Swift that has much time to meet an hour with
All
her
right.
people?
One more question. I know there's two on there, but I
Let's
think our
see.
viewers. I think our
because
viewers have
I told
stopped.
Klein I would call her between 9 and 9:30. So it's 9:31.
Oh my gosh.
You're a liar.
Would you rather have a driver take you everywhere or a private chef who makes all your meals? 1,000% a
Gosh.
freaking chef. If I don't have to ever
yeah.
think about
Yeah.
or decide what I have to eat for the rest of my life, I'm in.
Yeah, I'm good with the chef.
I would
I don't
do
mind
chef.
driving.
With kids,
Yeah.
you're
Chef.
like, hey, make them what they want, kind of healthy. Make
Yeah.
me what I want.
Yeah.
Yep.
Have a great day.
They
It-
want
it would
mac
make-
and cheese
it
and
would-
so, make them some of that cauliflower.
Yeah, it would make eating healthy so much easier, and it would make being a parent so much easier.
Correct.
My life. would
And
be-
driving, like it'd be great to have a driver to like be able to like get a bunch of work done, but I do it anyways. Never mind.
He didn't
don't,
say
Don't
that.
copy me.
Don't copy it.
Don't copy
Heck
me.
no, I'm driving my Lambo and my Ferrari.
A Ferrari?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I'm not getting one of those. Definitely a Lambo.
I like the driving. It's my solitude. My
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, I'm a
it's-
hermit
it's
already,
peace.
but like
yeah.
it's my true alone time.
Yes.
It's like your shell
Yeah.
if you're a hermit.
Yeah. My
Or a
part of my
snail.
shell.
Like,
I love it. I love it.
chef. Okay, thanks guys for tuning in. You got to
Thank
click
you, and
subscribe.
thank you, Sarah.
You got to what
Thank
are the
y'all.
things they got to
Go
do?
follow us
Follow
on
us,
YouTube,
click.
Podbean, Audible, and Spotify.
We're still learning it.
Yeah,
clearly.
and you guys, if you don't hit the notification bell, then why are you even following us?
Maybe
Wait, when
because
they-
they're disciplined and when they want to be
Wait,
consistent.
would that mean
get
they're
on YouTube and
not
watch
following
us?
us?
It's supposed to be
I
a
forgot to hit
joke,
that
but
bell.
you better hit the bell.
Oh, Sarah forgot to
I
hit
did
the bell.
follow you. So that's. Are you directing this at me? Did you see that?
Yes.
followed
No, I
you.
didn't.
Don't
but,
allow him to
but
talk
let's
to you
be
like
real.
that.
Let's be real.
So we
Don't-
just brought you
Yeah.
on.
Right?
Like, you're not going to hit the bell. You're going to be on the show.
Yeah, Sarah's like, okay, well, I guess I'll unfollow you now. I didn't hit the bell.
I got my time
Anyway,
to shine.
okay.
I'm out.
Thanks, guys.
Gotta jump in, gotta start climbing, show up and win. Never stop striving,